Alright, it took us an hour, but we got through one ink color. Alright, during your opponent's turn, whenever one of your other characters is banished, gain 2 lore. This is
expensive.
for good reason.
Yeah.
For good reason.
I think because of how expensive he is. I don't know if he ever sees play, to be honest with you.
It seems like a very fair card to Zero to
Just in
Hero.
time. Or Zero to Hero, yeah.
You could sing Zero to Hero, play this, and then sing another Zero to Hero, play a second copy of this, gain 4 lore whenever one of your characters is banished. This card is amazing. Dude, I'm giving this a 3.5 star.
It's very, very powerful.
I think it's pretty good. This card is also, I think, pretty good.
Your other characters gain Challenger 1. Yeah. It's pretty solid.
Like, it just comes down and all of a sudden it's like, oh, your math is wrong. It's similar to Cogsworth, but way cheaper. It's just going to like, how many times are your opponents not going to quest because this card exists in your deck? The problem is it's very not good on the defense. If I wanted a snake shift, or like if I wanted a shift target, that could be okay. I mean, it's like a 2.5 star card, 2-star card.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Anything that makes math weird or not the same as it was, sneakies, like, can find a home.
I mean, I'll play it in limited. 1 star, nothing to write home about. Next. The cards need to exist. This is also just like that. I'm not happy about this card. It's a dragon. You get to play it in your theme decks. It quests for 2. It's...
You play it on 5, next turn it gets Medusa.
it's not great. This card, though. You gonna put 4 of this in Amethyst Ruby?
I don't know if this is better than Sisu, but it's definitely worth trying. People are definitely talking about it, yeah.
I think this is a super solid 3-drop.
I mean, if you're being aggressive, it's definitely going in. But Ruby Amethyst, I don't think, is always the very aggressive deck.
You can put it in the burn deck.
Oh, yeah.
Ruby Amethyst burn deck now.
Alright. I've not seen all of this movie. I've seen very little of it. But this is not a B, nor does it have knees. Why is the ability called that? It's something Mama Odie says in the movie? Okay. I think this card's interesting. I think it's too cute.
1 mana 2/2.
Lagoon.
This was not a character that needed this, though. Mostly because we already have a good 1-cost Rafiki. It's a 1-star card. Could be good if we had good shift targets.
Surfer Mini, how I miss you.
It's a solid 2-star, 2.5-star card. Insane and limited. You want all of them you can get. This is
I
half a
think
star.
This is bad.
Yeah, I don't like it. Amazing and limited.
Yeah, Unlimited, it's the same thing as like Hey, right? The Hey that comes back to your hand. He was super annoying and really good in Limited. This is just a bigger Hey.
Half star, not worth talking about. Just
Nope.
limited. Slough. Probably very good in limited. I don't think it's good enough in constructed. It is a sorcerer. If sorcerer matters and you need an expensive uninkable Maui. I think this
Quest
is...
for more and takes out Castle in one. I think it's a 2-star.
Yeah. Alright, how many fairies are there? No, is Tink...
Ooh, she's a captain. Keeps your Smees alive, boys.
Yeah, fairy pirates. And this draws you a card if you have blue fairy in play. There's not very many, though.
No, there's not a lot of fairies.
I think Blue Fairy and Steel Tinkerbell are the only playable fairies. Maybe the Amber Tinkerbell. This is like a 1.5-star card. Alright, I need to use the potty again, and I will leave up this insane card, and we can let Kendall this time talk about how much he wants to play with this card.
Yeah, Kendall, talk about this. I'm going to use the restroom too.
Wow. This card, really good. Buy your foils.
We're not giving financial advice.
That's not financial advice. It's purple, so it's gonna look good in foil. I like it. Because, I mean, Ruby, like, well, purple, not just Ruby Amethyst, has a variety of 1-drops, so, like, someone in 20 lore called this card Cusco, which is pretty fitting. Like the 2-drop Cusco, but yeah, I think, like, playing this and playing Cusco, and playing a bunch of crabs as well, just kind of just a really good package there. Anytime you can pump this to trade into something and draw a card. On top of the fact, just like Cusco, even if you don't have crabs, like they're just kind of like free questers, pretty aggressive, like you can just ping them down.
This card goes crazy with library.
Hey Kendall, how would you rate it?
A 4. It's a 4.2.
So do we average up to 4.5, or does it round down to 4? Anyways, what do you think about March Hare?
It's a limited card. In Amethyst, it's competing with a 4-drop slot, and you're never playing this over. It's a very hard slot to compete with.
I love this card's art. I'm not even going to read it before I give it a stamp, because this art is gorgeous.
I saw this card, and I was like, this is just worse mini.
That said, it's like a 1.5 star card.
Yeah.
So far, though, it might be my favorite art of the set. Its
the
ability
ability's
is
really
absurd. And with some ramping things, it's probably going to be... My thought is Blurple could play this as a 2 of, if they're already playing 4 1-drop Rafikis. That said, I mean, this is like a 2-star card. I like this card.
When you play this character, draw a card. It's not bad.
I don't play Rabbit in my Amethyst Steel Dock aggro deck. I would maybe play this.
You have Dock.
True, but I would maybe play this, because not only is it evasive, so it's hard to be challenged, but it quests for 2.
In a more mid-range control Ruby Amethyst, you still prefer to play rabbits, but again, like if Luxury opened up a new archetype with the burn deck, like this is kind of doing the same thing, and it's a little bit more aggressive. This is better in an aggressive strategy, I guess. But I think I would still prefer to play rabbits. Yeah, it would, at most, I think I'd play like a 3-1 split.
I mean, I think this is a solid 3.5 star card. It just hits so many of the right things, and its drawbacks are in the right place. Alright, I'll give it a 1.5 star. It's not great, it's cute, it's fun. It could be better. A lot of hype about this card. It seems like a card I would play at League Night, but probably will never see play in a DLC.
2 activation costs is pretty steep.
This card's not bad. I mean, this is definitely a 3.5 star card at least. The question is it 4 stars? Like, this seems good in a dock deck. Like,
I think this needs some like real testing to see if it comes out to be 4 stars, just to see how much value on average you can actually get out of it.
Mama Odie.
Being
maybe
uninkable.
playable and limited, but yeah, the uninkable is brutal. Yeah, just 1 star. Peter Pan. During your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, exert opposing character. It's too expensive. This should cost 2. At this point, I think this is a 0.5 star card.
Yeah, I agree.
I think this card is super overhyped.
I agree. I think
So overhyped.
I don't think we have enough for reliable mill, and this is just another tool for an archetype that we can't quite make work yet.
This would need to be like the 20th mill card I'd put in my deck. I'll give it 1 star instead of a 0.5 star because it could be playable. The more of these we get, the better a friend like me is.
Just you wait till mill becomes viable.
Whenever you play a card, draw a card. At the end of your turn, put all the cards in your hand on the bottom of your deck in any order. I want to play Amethyst Sapphire Item Storm. It does sound bad, but sounds so fun.
Oh, it's for sure fun. It's cute and can allow you to do some really powerful things, but it's cute.
In any multiplayer format, this card's probably pretty good. I mean, it does draw a card.
We have friends at home.
It's a really bad inkable storm. All right. Let's see the next card. Lose the Way. We were going to talk about this earlier a little bit when I was like, there's one purple action. That said, it's still like a 1-star card. This would be a reason to play Rafiki. I mean, we have 12 1-drop sorcerers. 4 Maleficent, 4 Rafiki Challenger, I think is fair. We could even play the other one if we really, really wanted to. Once we get into 2-drops in Amethyst, like we have Yin Sid, which is okay. But then we have the Challenger Ursula. 3s, we've got the Cantrip Maleficent, we have Arthur, Fox. I think Sorcerer, like, theme deck. Like, I think that could be the first, like, typal deck that's actually good. And the Elsas. You get most of the playable cards in Amethyst are sorcerers already. Belle's a sorcerer too. Big easy. The Scar is a sorcerer if you wanted to bring Maui. All of the big end game cards are sorcerers. Ursula Deceiver of All is a sorcerer. But oh yeah, almost all of the sorcerers are Amethyst. You have just some splashy ones. There's 2 types of people in this world. Those who have played Affinity and those who have not played Affinity. Arcbound Ravager flashbacks. Yeah, I think this card's very powerful. I'm going to give it a 3.5 star. This card is actually really similar, where in the regards that like you have to bend over backwards to make this card work. But it could actually be very good if you do it. I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. It's a build-around card. It could be insane. It's going to take a lot to do. Each opponent puts the top card of their deck into their discard. This is the card that I said that there was another card that gives us mill. And this is not bad. Unlike the Mad Hatter, this doesn't just die. It does have a kind of a steep activation cost for not that much. That said, this is pretty cool with that location that lets both players play with the top card of the deck. That is the Lantern combo. Too many things need to exist for a Lantern deck to be good. So if this sees play, it would be with a whole new world mill. And I think it's just too slow and has no impact. It does say each opponent. So in multiplayer, this card's like not bad. But I'm only giving this a 1 star. Like
in multiplayer, I think it changes completely. But I mean, just for 1v1,
1 star in constructed. But it would have been so good in limited. This is a card. I mean, this is not great, but I guess it continues the cycle of 1 cost for willpower, 1 to move locations that gain you 1 lore. Oh, I guess I should give it the 1 star it deserves. The start of your turn, you may move 1 damage from chosen character here to chosen opposing character. At the start of your turn, if you have a character named Mama Odie here, gain 1 lore. I do not like this card.
no.
All right, I'm going to call it there. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. You have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.